Hey there, it is Steve Carter, your Las Vegas realtor, and today we are doing another area tour in Las Vegas. This mountain right here is Exploration Peak, and there's a park on the backside, but what's more important is what's to the west of it. So I'm heading west on the Blue Diamond right now, and we're going to be checking out the community, master plan community of Mountain's Edge. You can actually, from the park, hike like those people are right there, all the way to the top. It's not that big, but it's a fun little family hike to do. There's some picnic spots at the top and really good views of the city. It's kind of like a mini Lone Mountain if you've done that one more in the northwest part of town. But here we are at Mountain's Edge. Now, Mountain's Edge was built in the early 2000s. I think it really started breaking ground, I don't know, 2003, 2004, right around there. And they've continually been developing it. So there's some parts that are brand new, still building, and other ones that, yeah, you're buying a resale home, which is great because then you get some bigger trees that have been around for almost 20 years now. Time flies. Now, the street I'm on right now, Blue Diamond, back when they built this community, there was barely anything on it. Now there's every convenience you could possibly think of, including this big grocery store up ahead. You got dentist office, lots of restaurants. Just outside of Mountain's Edge that way, you have a Walmart and Target, just everything you can think of. In here, there's a gym, a Ross, lots of good restaurants and some bars. We're going to just kind of cruise around the area so you can kind of see what it looks like, get a good feel for it, see if it's something you're interested in. As far as when you're looking at a map, and I'm going to pull in here, this is kind of a Western themed park called Exploration Peak Park. But what I was saying is when you're looking at a map and trying to decide where this is at, this is in the southwest corner of Las Vegas. It's about as southwest as you can go on the west portion. And Blue Diamond, that street we were just on, if you continue to go on it, that's what will take you to Pahrump and some other towns. Or if you're heading over to Death Valley, that's where it'll go. Ah, crap. One way, of course. There's a lot of different designs for the homes and sizes. You can surprisingly get some very large homes out here. There's a lot of homes that are in the 3,000, 4,000 square foot range plus. I don't believe there's any custom homes, so it's kind of like Summerlin for the most part, where they're, master built community. The builders they do tracts, and you pick one, you can customize it to some degree, but it's not like a ground up build. And when you're looking at the sidewalks like we have right here, that's kind of the big draw for a master plan community. I've mentioned this in another video, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. So where I live in Spring Valley. There's no homeowners association or HOA, as we call it all the time. And because of that, they don't have all this beautiful greenery. It's literally like someone's wall and then the sidewalk. So it's like, as far as like if you like to take your dogs on walks or go running, this is definitely built to be kind of more of an active lifestyle community. Same as Summerlin. This is located in the southwest. There's quite a few parks here. I think there's right around 4 parks. There's also a high school here in the community. We see like KB still building right here. We're gonna pretend that's green. There's also single stories, 2 stories, condos, townhouses. They have a little bit of everything. Like these are condos right here to my right. Well, I think the big draw for Mountain's Edge is everything you're seeing right here to the right, right over there. So it's just kind of butted up against desert, mountains. You have just a beautiful natural landscape to look at. I was out here the other day, closer to, there we go, got a little honk from him, closer to like golden hour, and it was just gorgeous, like these ridges over here. And there's a very large baseball park. We'll check that out in a little bit, but you've got some great views of Red Rock and the Spring Mountains. Ooh, there's Santa's sleigh on that house. That's crazy. Some people go all out. Also, you'll notice some of these homes have rooftop decks. So if you like all that flat portion on top of that house, that's for a deck. So a viewing deck. You can have a barbecue area or whatever you want up there. It's a nice little touch. I think this is one of the first communities that really started that trend here in Las Vegas. There are definitely some areas over there by Centennial Hills and in the Northwest that do that as well. And then if you were going to try to head to the Strip from here, depending on which area you're at, but kind of close to the Blue Diamond area, you're only talking maybe 12, 15 minutes, unless you hit some crazy traffic. It's really not that bad. If you're into off-roading, there's a lot of people out here in the Southwest that are, they have the side-by-sides, they go jeeping, because there's trails just right over there to my right that you can take, that'll take you all the way to Good Springs, which is a little saloon, and it's a fun little ride. Or there's just so much you can really do. It's pretty awesome. You can almost just leave your garage and just head on out there. So. See, this is where it ends on the south part. Let's go over here. So, if you're into mountain biking, this can be a great area to just immediately go get some trails. Some of those homes like these right here, they're in the lower price range. I would say closer to high 3s, low 4s. There's not much of a backyard. That's maybe like a 15-foot backyard. So if you're looking for space, some of these areas might not be the best. Whoops, sorry. But there are plenty of homes that do have larger backyards. And what's cool too about Mountain's Edge is there's a lot of community pools, depending on which little community you're in. The edge of town, man. It looks like they've got solar on their roof, so anytime you see that, it's a good sign if that's something you want to get put on. When you do live in a homeowners association, you do need to get that approved. And I was looking up the homeowners association prices. It does vary depending on which community you're in, in Summerlin they call them villages, but basically which little community you're in, if it's guard gated, if it's gated, if there's no gate. But they kind of started about $20 a month. I saw some that were in the $100. It's just really going to depend. But the same goes for Summerlin, right? Summerlin starts at $46 a month and then goes up from there if you're going to be in a gated community or have it guard gated. Now, fun fact for you, on the back side of that mountain we were looking at, that little hill, is a famous person's house. It's really cool, cut into the side, and it's Penn from Penn and Teller, the magician show. So if you like that, it's a really cool looking house. We'll have to swing by sometime and check it out. Very modern, really clean line. It kind of blends in with the the desert as well. But look at those spring mountains. That's just so pretty. And it's a little hazy today, so you're not getting the best representation, but I think this is a daycare over here, which is nice to have like directly in the community. See, that community has a community pool right there. And there's still a lot that hasn't been developed yet, you know, so definitely room for growth, whether you get into it early or you get into it late. So we've got the umbrella up there for that rooftop deck on that one. This is a very popular area to host races, 5Ks, charity events. They've got really good trail system for the walking paths, and then also lots of parks for community events. I believe Las Vegas Discovery Days is held here in Mountain's Edge, and that they highlight different charities and events at the parks. It's kind of a great way to get people together and celebrate good causes. We're going to turn left here on Mountain's Edge Parkway. And straight to my right, right over there, if you can see, that's where Sunset Station is. Nope, sorry, South Point Casino. So, gives you some reference for where we are. There's a lot of elevation, some of these homes, you know, they sometimes have like a little rooster deck or third thing. They do have a fire station here as well. Always nice to keep close. Now the prices of homes, I mean, for like a 2,000 square foot house, you're going to be looking at close to $400,000. This is Mountain's Edge Regional Park. And then depending on which community you're in, how large you are, I saw some that were closer to 4,500 square feet. They were going for around the $700,000 range up to the $1 million. So those are cool basketball hoops just put in the wall. Kind of has that Venice Beach vibe for the basketball setup. Then there's some cool climbing areas. We have another situation kind of like that at downtown Summerlin. Little workout area. Get it. And it's fall right now. Actually, it's winter, so the grass isn't super green. I believe they use... Man, what is that called? It's not fescue. It's whatever it is. It's not it doesn't stay green all year round. Kind of like, it feels like the grass at my high school. It was like always nasty on the off season. Now, the design of the homes or the architecture, it's a little bit more of like a modern Spanish style. You see this a lot through some areas in Summerlin, like Paseos and the Vistas. So it has kind of a little more traditional look, but they clean it up a little bit, make it a little more transitional. Big baseball park right here. Lots of baseball events are held here, and it's really pretty. I mean, like, look at the silhouette of all those mountains. Let's keep going on that. I'm not sure what this is. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, but we have a school right here. Looks like an elementary school. On those, unfortunately, because I'm a realtor, I can't talk too much on schools, but it's Reedham Elementary School. So I always recommend going to the CCSD, or the Clark County School District website, to kind of get a good view of what schools you're looking into, what teachers are there, so you can kind of do your own research on that. But from what I hear, I have a lot of friends that live over here. They enjoy the area. They enjoy the schools that are associated over here. And that being said, if you ended up over here and you didn't like the school, there are also other options. There are private schools, there are charter schools which are free. You can always try to get into. So throughout the whole valley, if you don't mind driving just a little bit. Another gated community right here. So these are larger homes. These are closer to that 4,000 square foot mark. 3-car garage is very common. Might even have some RV parking as well. And they have the bigger backyards and lot sizes. Pools will be very common in these communities right here. Now, Desert Oasis is the high school over here. So it's kind of cool to have your own high school immediately in your community. Summerlin has its own as well. I'm comparing this to Summerlin just because it's probably the largest master plan community most people know of in the greater Las Vegas area. And they've got their Palo Verde for the public school, and then they have Bishop Gorman for their private school in Summerlin. But big open streets, you can commute fairly easily going wherever you gotta go. El Capitán. Another gated community right there. And then this one's not gated. So, I mean, they do have a mix. And there's still 3-car garages over there. I know that's important to you because that's important to me. That's what I'm always looking at. Looks like they're getting ready for a nice community over here. there's just trails that just lead right off here. So if you want to just go hiking or go exploring, this is an awesome place to be. I'll have to start doing these tours on my dirt bike. Now that house right there is a tri-level, so there's stairs. Half of the stairs are outside and then half of them are inside, if that makes any sense. So from the ground level you go straight up to half, and then you go either up more or you go down. So it's a pretty area. Then you have, so these homes over here are outside of Mountain's Edge, just in the custom lots that people were building. Like that looks like it's back from the 70s at least, that yellow one over there. And then this is definitely a little newer, probably late 90s. Back when a lot of people would just buy half acre, couple acres of land out here and do whatever you want, like this Western themed one over here. So, and that's where Mountain Edge ends. Nice wide streets though. I mean, it doesn't feel claustrophobic at all over here. Well, we're at the end. That concludes this tour of Mountain's Edge, and it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully you liked it. If you did, let me know so I keep making more of these. But I'm going to tell you my favorite part of Mountain's Edge is just what's right here behind me. You got such close proximity to these cool mountains, trails, and beautiful views. So if you're considering moving to Las Vegas, definitely put that on your list of areas to check out depending on what you're into. So don't just think Summerlin or Henderson. There's lots of other areas, this being a really, really good option. And that being said, I am a licensed realtor here in Las Vegas. So if you have any questions about buying or selling, or you just want to shoot the bull or talk about what's the best taco shop in town, contact me. Follow me on social media. I'll leave all my contact info